everyone, this is Joanna. Welcome to my channel. If you enjoy DIYs on the budget, you are in the right place. My projects are easy and inexpensive to make, and I just cannot wait to share them with you. And if you do enjoy them, please make sure that you subscribe because it helps my video to get out there to other folks that enjoy what we love so much. And for my first DIY, I'm grabbing a large metal ring. Comes in a set of 2, and I'm going to cut out from a foam board a half moon. Now I'm using a joint compound to add texture to it. Now I have seen this technique made by Holly from Hot Humble Pie, and she is doing an amazing job, and that video you have to watch it. She creates this amazing piece of fake wood that you would never think that it looks like fake wood. It looks like totally real wood. So this is what I'm trying to do. So you just have to smooth it, you have to keep on going, make sure that you cover all the edges, that they are all filled up. And I believe Holly does it on both sides of the board or cardboard that she's using. I'm doing it only on one side, and it worked for me, but you know, it might be different for everyone else. But you can see here that you have to make sure that you're getting nice texture to it. And it is a joint compound, it is not a spackle. Spackle is a little bit too thick for that. So you have to watch her video because it's absolutely inspiring. And here I am trying to recreate what she has done. Now my joint compound is pink, but when it's going to dry, it's going to turn white. And there you have it. You can see all those nice grooves. It's amazing. It really is amazing. The camera is not doing it justice. So after it dried, you can see that it turned white on me. I am using the same mix as Holly was using, which is burnt umber with a little bit of black, and you dry brush it on top of your piece, and then you take a wet wipe and you start scrubbing it, and you kind of lift up the paint, and the paint mixes, and you have to make sure that you're always going in the same direction. And here you see that I'm adding more paint to it, and I'm gonna go back with the wet wipe. And I'm not quite sure why the wet wipe works so well, but I've used quite a few of them, probably 3 or 4 for the whole project. This is very satisfying, but now that I'm watching the video, I think that my wet wipe is actually a little bit too dry. I should have probably used more wet wipes. It just looks that it's a little bit too dry, and here I'm adding more paint, and it takes time, but the result is absolutely amazing, so it is well worth it. I believe that she used just the cardboard or like a box or something, like the cardboard from a box. This is the foam board, and it works great. And you can see how you pick up some of the paint with the wet wipe, and then we're gonna add more onto it, so you have all those different layers, so you cannot rush it. But it's just such a fun technique. I just want to keep on doing it. I want to make those boards. Look how nice it looks. You cannot tell that this is a foam board unless of course you lift it and then you see the white edges, which you need to go make sure that you cover them very thoroughly. Here it is nice and dry, and look at that texture, and here are the edges that I need to work on. Did I just mention something about them? And making a quick fit. It fits fine in my little ring. So now I just need to start working on the ring, and for the ring I'm using the rope from the Dollar Tree. I'm just gonna take it apart because it's just way too thick, so I'm just going to use one of the 3 strands that are on it. And once I have that one of the 3 ropes, I'm just going to glue the end with my glue gun to the ring, and I'll just wrap it all around it until we get to the other end. And there you have it. It's nicely wrapped. You don't see any metal sticking through, so you just have to make sure that you have a nice end to it. So add a lot of glue gun, not glue gun, a lot of glue, and make sure that you're getting a nice finish to it. For the decor, I used my Cricut and I cut out the word home from it. So you can see I'm using the transfer tape to transfer the word onto my foam board, or the fake wood you want to call it. I really love the way it's coming out, and now you can really see that the project is coming together. It's looking really great. So in order to protect it, of course, I'm going to Mod Podge the whole thing, and I'll make sure that it dries before my next step. And here it is beautifully dry, and I took a couple of pieces of eucalyptus and I'm tying it with the same rope to my circle. So I figured that that's really a good hold, and it's not going to move, and I thought it just looked very, very pretty. And now the time is to attach the wooden board, so to say, to the ring. So you just have to make sure that you go all around the edges of the board where the ring is touching and attach it. And look at that, it came out so beautiful. I added a bow to it and it's just so gorgeous. I mean, can you tell that this is not wood? You really can. It really is magnificent, and I love it. If you don't have a Cricut machine, the Dollar Tree has wonderful decals that you can use on it as well. And let's get moving to the next project. And I have this beautiful frame, and I'm going to use just the outside of the frame for this project, and I'm going to paint it with black and burnt umber, which I did not show here, but I'm going to cut out a foam board that is going to fit precisely in the frame. Now I also cut out the word coffee with the Cricut. I wanted to use vinyl, but vinyl was sticking too much and I don't want it to be sticking. I really want it to be a stencil more than anything else. So I'm using my washi tape to attach that word to my board. And I don't want it to stick too much. I just want it to hang in there. And once I flipped it over, I made sure that the tape is kind of hidden. You don't see the tape that is holding the word. And then I decided that for even better adhesion, I am going to use tape just on the very, very end of some of the words. So you really will not be able to tell in the project that I did that, but it will hold my letters much better. And I'm using my coffee grounds, which I grounded coarsely, and I'm going to spray the spray adhesive on the project. And I have to say that I put a generous amount of the adhesive. And now it's time for coffee grounds. There are some large pieces in it, there are some small pieces, so you're just gonna go all over your word. Just want to make sure that everything is nicely covered, especially around the letters, because you really want to make sure that there's a distinctive difference once I'm going to pull it off the paper. And boy, did it smell good. What a fun project. I love coffee, so it was great. And here I am, you can see I'm lifting it off, And it might look like a mess, but don't worry about it, because I know that there is no adhesive underneath the letters. So although there are little pieces of coffee on the letters, they will come right off when you're going to start shaking it off. So no worries there. Just lift it off and let it dry. And I saw some areas that still had wet adhesive showing, and I went and I added a little bit more coffee here and there. And here you have it. This is still kind of wet, but maybe like 10 minutes into it, maybe 15, and I just shook it off, and you can see that it came off really nicely. So you kind of have to make sure that it's all nice and dry, because it depends on what kind of adhesive you are using. So here you can see I'm just cleaning it off a little bit. And once everything is nice and clean and dry, I'm going to use a spray varnish on it, just to make sure that everything is gonna nicely set in place. And there you have it. It came out so nice. Nothing is falling off anymore. If you have a frame with the glass, that would work too. I actually broke my glass, so I didn't have it. It looks great, but I just love how the different coffee grinds are. Some are bigger, some are smaller, and yet you can see that word coffee coming out of it. It's amazing. I'm really happy with the project. And for my last project, I'm grabbing a little stand from 99-cent store and a glass bowl from the Dollar Tree. I sprayed the stand in white, and I'm just going to put on the side. Now here I'm grabbing 3 rounds, little wood rounds, but I'm actually going to use 2, because 2 is just plenty for what I'm going to need it for. So I glue them together, and I'm going to add beads, a little strand of beads to the outside of them. So just make sure that the beads that you're using are going to cover the wood entirely. And there you have it. It's all nice and dry, and now I just need to add a little knob. And this is a game that I found in Dollar Tree, and I thought that those pieces would be absolutely perfect, not only for this handle, but also as little legs to different projects and stuff like that. I did not like the little hole in the middle, so I just put wood putty in there, and I'm gonna spray paint it black. And there you have it. It's all done and ready to be attached to my glass dome. And I'm using the E6000 along with the glue gun to attach that piece to my dome. So now that everything is already attached, I decided that I really don't like that black knob and I want it to be white. So I decided to use some clear plastic wrap, and I'm gonna poke a hole in it just so that the knob can come through it, and that way everything else is protected. And I'm painting it white, and I believe I gave it 2 or 3 coats of white chalk paint, and I really like the way it came out. It looks better. It looks so much better. I just didn't like the whole entire thing to be black. It's such a fun project. It is so easy, and it looks so darn cute. Don't you agree? Now, my friends, I hope you enjoyed all the projects that I made for you today. This looks like such an awesome piece that you can hang in your hallway and coffee sign in the kitchen. I just love that I was able to use the coffee grounds, the actual coffee grounds that I love so much, in my project. Well, my friends, if you enjoyed it, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. It helps my videos to get out there to other folks that enjoy DIYs on a budget. With that being said, till next time, my friends. Ta-ta!